She's a motel Mona Lisa with a smile that's there to tease ya. A masterpiece of heartbreak on a vibrating bed.
Well, then, can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start?
Well, I was born in Plowshares, Oklahoma in 1932. And we were poor, and I guess I was singing ever since I can remember. I remember I traded my sister for my first guitar, little Martin C10. Of course, I had to give it back, the guitar, that is. But I did acquire a guitar soon after that. I remember the first professional singing arrangement that I had was a fellow named Doc Williams had a talent show coming through Oklahoma. And I was on the bill there with a couple of other fellows. I think they were Indians, I don't know, I wouldn't say, but I guess I won the show. I won the show mainly because the other fellas were afraid to sing into the microphone. Of course, at that time, there were lots of stories about electricity in our area. And a fellow was actually killed by a microphone 2 towns over. So these fellows, I was the only one who would sing actually into the microphone. They were singing off to the left and off to the right. Therefore, I was the only one that was heard that night as a singer. And I won the show, two live chickens and $50. And I later started touring there with Doc Williams as the under my name, Hank Jones. I had no stage name. I felt no need for a stage name. I've always felt that honesty and an open door policy is the best thing. Anyway, it was the early years were good years, not great years, but we had lots of good times, made a lot of good friends. I'd say I made some of the best friends I've ever had since or now, and it was a real good time, lots of good friends.
I don't know if I can say this on the air. You might have to cut this out of the tape. But in the business, he was pretty much always known as the smiling bastard. No friends. He would lie about that. The reason I say you'll have to cut this out is that probably he'll sue you if you leave it in there. You know that feeling you get when you just, like you remember something that happened to you and it was just incredibly awful and you just sort of cringe. You can be on a bus or any place. You just sort of black out for a minute. That's kind of how I feel when I remember this guy.
We met, it was 1967, 68, somewhere in that period. I was 18 years old. I was very wild at the time. I'd been dating a lot of guys, a couple of black guys, all sorts of guys. One night my friend Rona asked me if I'd go with her to this bowling alley where this country western singer was singing in the Five Towns. I figured it's a kick, I'll go. At that point I would have done anything in my life. So we get there and there's this guy there, this Hank. I had never seen anything like it in my life. It was a very psychedelic time, believe me. But I had never seen an orange shirt like that shined the way it did, with this belt buckle, with matching orange shiny pants, with the boots, and then the way that thing of his hung in his pants. I said, Rona, get me out of here.
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions here. Do you like your daddy's music? Do you listen to it? I do.
Hank Lane, honey. Hank Lane. Use the microphone.
I do.
And what do you think about it?
I like it.
Oh, that's okay, honey. You can sit back. We can hear you. Yeah, be comfortable there.
She's real sweet. She's real sweet. She's my pride and joy. She's helped me a lot. and she helps me all which ways around the house. She's just my little bunny. I love her. That fella there did it. See him? That fella did it. That show's over with.
Don't turn it off.
I saw it last week, honey. Just turn it off. I'll tell you all about it.
I didn't.
I married a man to fill a yawning void in my life. Now that the autumn lingers in my hair, my little dog looks at me with her soft brown eyes as if to ask about the seasons of my life, the seasons of a marriage. He came into my life a rambler, a man torn by wild desire, like a piece of trash flung from a passing automobile.
Excuse me, Mrs. Jones. I wonder if you could just tell us about your life with Hank, using your own words.
These are my own words.
He was a good man.
The man that I was destined to love and be married to, of course, now that'll never happen. Well, not until he comes back, anyway. I mean Jesus, of course, but I've seen these pictures of Hank playing golf with Elvis, which is the biggest bunch of hooey I ever saw, because the man didn't know how to play golf to save his life. He ruined my life.
It was about a year later. He had asked me to do some liner notes for him. I got a break. Nat Hentoff was out of town in Europe or something, and he was doing everybody's at the time. So this was quite a nice opening for me. And he had remembered me from the parking lot, so he just, it was like a penny a word. He asked me to do about 100 words. I lied a little bit, I said he was, he had a unique sound, he was really good, he was, making a comeback. So I was happy to do it. Well, somewhere between my typewriter and the printer, Opal, his wife at the time, got hold of it. I have the record right here. My liner notes never appeared, but what appeared instead was a little creation of hers. Sort of a Christ is Elvis here. A little tuning crucifix.
My first wife, Opal, we were childhood sweethearts. We were very much in love. We have known each other since we were children.
Did he tell you that? Oh, Lord. Honey, I was a grown 25-year-old woman. When Hank met me, I had a baby of my own already. And he came along,
The TV people are here! Kenneth! No wonder he's a drug addict, with a role model for a father.
My recording career actually took off in the late 40s when I had several moderately successful hits on small record companies in the East Texas area. And lots of titles in the early 50s on VJ label. But I guess my luck turned in 1956 when I released my #5 hit on the country western Billboard chart, Motel Mona Lisa. Yeah, I think most people remember that. Oh, Hank by that one. Goes like, I think you remember it. She's a Motel Mona Lisa with a smile that's there to tease you. A masterpiece of heartbreak on a vibrating bed. Of course, they loved that. My public loved that. We had good success with that.
So as I said, he was being extremely attentive to me after this thing. So we had a few drinks, and he suggested we go to this motel. Now, I was used to motels at the time. but I had never been to one quite like this because it had this vibrating bed. Now this guy, if I tell you, he had a roll of quarters all ready for this. I think he got a lot more out of the experience than I did, if you know what I mean. I mean, I'd never seen somebody involved with the idea of this vibrating bed.
And then, following that up, I guess my next big hit was 1957, when I recorded in Nashville the Woman in the Bottle. That was number 17, I think. Got a lot of good airplay on that. A lot of friendly disc jockeys helped me out on that one. Woman in the Bottle. You remember it. There's a woman in this bottle who loves me more than you. Her hair is light amber and her kiss is 100 proof.
CB Disco Daddy. CB Disco. Was that Frank Jones guy? Frank Jones guy?
Hank Jones.
Hank Jones.
Yeah, I was hoping you
I
could...
think I kind of remember that. There was an album in the 70s. It was Frank. That was the guy who wore the weird belt things, right? Frank Jones. Who was
Hank
this?
Jones. We were wondering if...
Yeah, I remember Frank now. I remember Frank. Well,
Could you tell us about his comeback in the 70s?
I really rather not speak ill of the dead. I mean,
Oh, he's not dead.
are you serious? that guy's not dead?
Well, singing into the microphone was always Hank's trademark. He did try to change it when he was going for his comeback in the 70s. Started wearing these really flashy belt buckles that he hoped would catch on. By then, everybody was singing into the microphone, really. But he had these buckles with like a combination fish scraper, bottle opener, kind of a corkscrew, kind of dangerous sometimes, a car ashtray.
And I had a very uncomfortable pregnancy. And every time I looked at that belt buckle of his, I got more nauseous.
My first husband, I only married him because he said he knew Elvis, which was a lie. He looked a little bit like him, too, around the mouth. I used to pretend he was Elvis. My boy, he looks like Elvis. Now, it could be that, well, never mind.
I'm not bitter, really. I think all in all, I've had a successful career, and I don't think I would have done anything different. Not that I could think of.
Coffee's ready, Daddy. Come on in. Daddy? Daddy? Coffee? Dad?
Yeah, oh, here I am, little sister. Don't worry about it. I'm here. Oh. Oh, yeah, honey, this is good coffee. Thank you, baby. It's real sweet of you, honey. Oh, Daddy loves you.
Coffee, Daddy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, darling.
Is all right?
Oh, honey, it's real fine. It's real good. I gotta step up. It's just real fine, honey. Why don't you come on in here and join me, baby doll?
Coffee.
All right, sweetie. All right.
Down, Daddy. Here.
Oh, look at here. Look what we got here. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you, baby. Thank you very much. Well, how's your day going?
All right.
And my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, and you look so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Oh, sister, that was real good. Real good, honey.
Thank you, Daddy.
She's sweet.